Good morning, East Alabama and West Georgia. 9:33 Central, 10:33 Eastern on your Sunday morning, March 26, 2023. Back in here with you with some more information as we watch severe weather across East Alabama and West Georgia. At the moment, we have no severe weather watches or warnings, I should say. We do have a tornado watch that's in effect until 1 o'clock this afternoon. But we currently do not have any warnings for the area. Primarily wanted to kind of give you a radar update and also talk to you about the damage in southern Troup County, which we understand now is a little more significant than we originally thought. So this is a look at the Bethel Church, Bethel Baptist Church on 29. We understand that there is significant damage to the church and multiple homes in the area. So we understand that we do have some pretty significant damage that took place from that tornado earlier. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to read you some verbiage that we're getting from Georgia Mutual Aid Group, GMAG, and this was posted at 7:39 a.m. this morning. Samples Road, First Avenue, West Smith Road, numerous houses have collapsed. People are trapped. Many roads blocked by debris. I-85 is closed in both directions due to many trees across the interstate, and there are vehicles damaged. Again, that's verbiage from the Georgia Mutual Aid Group concerning the tornado that has apparently touched down in West Point and caused significant damage from West Point all the way across southern Troup over toward the Pine Mountain Wild Animal Safari Park. Posted at 7:20 this morning. This was Troup County, confirmed tornado south side of LaGrange. I-85 is blocked both sides, north of Georgia 103. Let's see, many buildings damaged and people trapped. Again, that was posted about 3 hours ago when that was taking place. That was at a tornado this morning that took place, started in West Point, went across southern Troup in northern Harris County at around 7:15 this morning. And that's a look at the Bethel Church on Highway 29 there at West Point with the considerable damage. Here's another look at some more pictures we've got coming in. We have homes that are completely destroyed. We have trees down. So a tremendous amount of damage there in southern Troup County and northern Harris County from this morning's tornado. So we're telling you all this to ask you to stay away from that area. Let the public safety personnel go in and do their search and rescue. There will be plenty of opportunities for you to volunteer in that area in the coming days. And the bad news is we have more storms coming. It is raining in that area now. It is not safe to be outside. So let the rescuers and first responders get in there and save lives. That's the most important thing right now. As we try to recover from this this morning. Again, this was a thunderstorm. We were tracking it for you here on Dr. Don's Weather when it moved through the West Point and Lynette area, and we referenced West Point, the Kia motor plant. We told you that was a strong, severe thunderstorm, and then it went tornadic just as it crossed over the Chattahoochee River right there at West Point. The Weather Service did issue a tornado warning on the storm, and then we tracked it all the way across southern Troup and northern Harris to a point there near the Wild Animal Safari Park. We're told that there is a tiger that's unaccounted for at the Wild Animal Safari Park. There was some reports that the tiger had been located and recaptured, but now we're seeing other media outlets who have not confirmed that. They are confirming that the tiger is still on the loose. So heads up to those of you in the Pine Mountain area. Avoid that area. If you were to see the tiger, you're going to want to dial 911 and stay away from it. This is a wild animal. The animal obviously is very scared and frightened in a very dangerous situation. So if you live in that area, stay indoors. Watch out your window. If you catch a glimpse of that tiger, you're going to want to call 911 and certainly stay away from it. But again, just some photographs of some of the damage coming into us this morning. Unfortunately, a confirmed large and dangerous tornado moved through the area from West Point across I-85 near the Kia plant, and then across I-185, probably just south of the Pine Mountain exit there at I-185. I don't know if 85 or I-185 has been able to be reopened just yet. But certainly avoid that area if at all possible. Getting some reports here that, and we did hear this earlier, that there was 2 tigers that were unaccounted for, and according to the LaGrange Daily News, it was 2 tigers. And I've got a report that the first one has been located, but there may still be a second tiger that has not been located just yet. So, again, we can't confirm any of that, but it stands to reason because I'm seeing reports that a tiger has been captured. I'm seeing reports from major news outlets that the tiger has not been captured. So if we had 2, then that would make sense. Maybe one of them has been located and the other has not. So that's what we're going to go with at the moment. A few other photographs to show you. This is from some of the hail that we saw this morning. And again, folks, it's really hard to keep up with exactly where these were, but it could be any spot across East Alabama or West Georgia because a lot of you saw the same thing in that first round of storms that we dealt with. This is very indicative of the size hail that we saw in these storms this morning. Here's some damage. I believe this was Adams Road near West Point. You can see those trees across the roadway. Again, there's another shot of what the hail looked like this morning as we continue with our coverage across East Alabama and West Georgia. Let's go back to the radar. This is our Omega radar. This is the one that gives us the opportunity to look at the storms in a 3D fashion. Watching these storms real close this morning, in particular the southern end of each one of these individual storms because we're getting some inflow notches on some of these storms. We're not severe on any of this stuff just now, but we're watching them very closely because any of them could go severe at pretty much any moment. So I'm going to tilt the radar up so that we can kind of look up into these storms. And you see, here's Pine Mountain. Let me stop that current right there. So here's Pine Mountain. Down here from Lynette over to Pine Mountain and south of LaGrange. This is the area where the cleanup is underway from the tornado damage this morning. So the rain's just north of you, and it's moving east. We hope it stays that way. Then we look back over here toward Lafayette, back over toward Dadeville, looking back to the north. Just some really strong thunderstorms taking place there. We'll go back and look at it from overhead. You can see the heavier storms there just south of Lafayette, back toward Dadeville, Alexander City. Again, nothing severe at the moment. We have no severe weather watches or severe weather warnings in effect at the moment. We do have a tornado watch that goes in effect until 5 o'clock this afternoon. Let's go back to our WSV3. There we go. And so this is another look at it from our Southern Union State Community College Live Doppler WS3 radar, showing those showers and thunderstorms. Again, we have some light rain over at Pine Mountain. We do have a heavier line of showers moving in to the tornado ravaged area. Yeah, heads up if you're out there cleaning up. We have a line of thunderstorms stretching now from LaGrange down I-85 down to Lynette and down to Casita. And golly, I know I sound like a broken record. But it's the same areas, getting storm after storm after storm. We now have a flash flood advisory. This is a flash flood warning for Troup County for locations such as LaGrange, Greenville, West Point, Hogansville, Pine Mountain, Luthersville. This is in effect until 2:45 this afternoon. That's a flash flood warning. Now in effect for Troup County and portions of Meriwether County. Until 2:45 this afternoon. So that area down there where the tornado cleanup is underway and search and rescue is underway, you're now under a flash flood warning. Very heavy rainfall down here in Lynette, West Point area. We believe our tornado track is going to be right here near West Point. Maybe just a little bit south of Kia Motors. We know that we had trees across the roadway in the vicinity of Kia Motors earlier, and then that tornado track would continue on off to the east and cross over I-185 along or south of the Pine Mountain exit. And then continue on over here just north of Pine Mountain, north of the Wild Animal Safari Park. That's where the damage is this morning. Again, we're getting reports of multiple homes damaged, collapsed, people trapped. There are injuries. We have not heard the extent of the injuries or how many, but we know that we do have injuries in this area as well. So when this tornado warning was issued, the National Weather Service out of Peachtree City was warning us that this was a large and violent tornado, and you could clearly see it on radar. So we know now that we have confirmed damage in that area. So stay away from that area. Search and rescue is still underway, being hampered by thunderstorm after thunderstorm. Just not a good situation at all there in southern Troup County and northern Harris County. Then as we look back into Alabama, we see a couple of pockets of heavy rain. One that's headed toward Lafayette, as if you need any more rain, you're about to get it. And then we look up here in Randolph County. We'll look at that over in Hurd also. Very heavy rain from Franklin up to Central Hatchie, off to the east over to Coweta County. And then in Randolph County, heavy rain showers there just north of Wedowee, back over toward Woodland, down to Weehadkee and Roanoke. Heavy rainfall now to the west of 431, places like Crystal Lake, Broughton Ridge, down to around Wadley. Heavy rainfall continues now in Tallapoosa County from New Site down to around Dadeville and Kalijah. Over in Coosa County, heavy rainfall from Kellyton back over toward Alexander City and then back up to Weegufka and all the way back into central Alabama over here around Clanton. We have heavy rain as well. The yellow area, and I'll zoom out so you can get a feel for the tornado watch area. If you're inside of that yellow box, which stretches, by the way, from about Dublin, Georgia, all the way back to the Mississippi state line, that covers West Alabama, Central Alabama, East Alabama, West and Middle Georgia. That is where the tornado watch box is this morning, and this tornado watch continues until 2 o'clock this afternoon. You'll notice that purple line that kind of zigzags across Central Alabama and then across Middle Georgia. That is our cold front, and we've been seeing storm after storm after storm traverse that cold front line this morning. Storms are running a little north, along, and a little south of that cold front. That's where your storms are. And those storms are going to follow this cold front, and it's just going to kind of meander back and forth across central Alabama and middle Georgia the remainder of the day. And then tonight we will get a stronger cold front, which will finally push all of this stuff out of here maybe by about sunrise tomorrow morning. This is going to be a long duration event that's going to continue for many hours across Alabama and Georgia as we continue through the day today and into this evening. So hold on. We're about to show you. I've just received a video from James Fuller James is going to show us some of the damage, I think, there in that West Point storm. So bear with me. Let me set this up right quick. And it's going to look off-centered. Let's see if we can fix this right quick. Hold on. Let's get this set up for you. Okay, I know that it doesn't line up very good, but nonetheless, let's see. Stand by. I've got to fix the audio right quick. And I don't know that you're going to be able to hear his audio, but I'm going to roll the video anyway. This is West Point Road, damage from the tornado from this morning. This is our first look, video look at this. This video coming from James Fuller. I'm not sure if you're hearing his audio. You're probably not. So I'm just I'm watching this for the first time as well. And you can see massive damage there on West Point Road. We're talking complete destruction there for about 100 yards wide. Again, this video coming from James Fuller. He was live. This was about an hour or so ago, right next door to West Point Motel. If you're familiar with where that's at on West Point Road. I believe that's the Bethel Church. And again, I'm watching this for the first time. All right, this is on West Point Road. Which is Highway 29 that runs north. West Point Road that runs north out of West Point, Georgia, going back toward LaGrange. All right, so this is in the area of Ann Murphy Road and Gibbons Road. And I'll run that loop for you again in just a few moments. I need to set up the audio on that to make sure that you're hearing it. I don't know if you heard James with his description or not, but what he was saying was he was basically just walking around and showing that damage. Now, this did not just happen. This happened around 7:15 this morning when that tornado came through. But it looks like the damage is on West Point Road, north of West Point, going back toward downtown LaGrange. This would be in the area of Ann Murphy Road and N Road. near the West Point Motel. Bethel Church, I believe, is going to be the name of the church that we were showing you there that was destroyed as well. This would be just south of West Point Lake, just north of West Point, Georgia on 29. Joanne is telling us, Sam Bowen is saying that the damage seems to stretch from Newton Road down to West Smith Road. Bethel Baptist Church. Thank you, Sam. Sam says that West Point Road is the main road between LaGrange and West Point, right outside of West Point, just north of West Point, where this damage is. So I do not encourage you to do what I'm about to say, but if you are in that area, and if you are filming, if you're part of search and rescue, or if you're in that area and you have video, such as what we just shared with you from James, the best idea, if you can, send it to me on Messenger. If you can send that video to me on Messenger, if you have it somewhere else, just send me the link on Messenger. That's the easiest way for me to share this with our viewers. Patricia's asking the question, will we get more storms this afternoon? Yes. Also getting reports that both tigers have been located and captured. And that's good news. That could be a bad situation, not only for the general public, but for the animals themselves. I mean, we're all is equally concerned about both, and but we're getting reports now that both tigers have been captured. Media and Mike's been good about giving us information all morning. Mike, I greatly appreciate it. Mike is confirming that media is now confirming both tigers have been captured at Pine Mountain. So there's one thing we don't have to be concerned about. Power outage in Roanoke. We will check the outage map in just a few moments. I want to show you. I want to run this video again for those of you who are just maybe just tuning in. Now, again, this is not centered on the screen. I get it. This is raw video just coming into us. We really hadn't had a chance to look at this. All right, we're getting some more photographs in from Sam also, and I'll show those in just a moment. Let me roll the video first. And again, folks, I don't think you can hear that audio But these are pictures we're looking at this morning coming in from James Fuller, who is in on West Point Road. He is just north of West Point on West Point Road there. That's 29 that runs back up toward LaGrange. This is damage from the tornado a couple of hours ago, around 7:15 this morning. This is going to be in the vicinity of West Point Motel and Bethel Baptist Church. Just total destruction there in that area. West Point Motel right there. Just to kind of give you a general idea for those that are familiar with this particular area. And that's the Bethel Church, we believe. The house next to the church is completely gone. Again, folks, I don't think you're hearing the audio, but this is a video coming into us from James Fuller, who posted this video a little over an hour ago of the damage from the tornado this morning just north of West Point, Georgia, up on 29, which is referred to as West Point Road, going back up toward LaGrange, Georgia. Let me see if I can get. All right, let me. Y'all just bear with me here. We're doing this stuff live and in living color. I'm going to try to show you some more photographs. I know it's very small, but Sam has shared some photographs with us. And I'm going to see if we can get this to. Okay, here we go. And I'm looking at this for the very first time as well. These are photographs that Sam has shared with us in the area of where the tornado moved across this morning there near West Point, Georgia. Wow. These photographs look eerily like what we saw over in Mississippi Friday night. Just total, complete destruction where it moved through. Our video guy said that it looked to be a couple of 100 yards wide. I believe that's going to be the Bethel Baptist Church off in the background. It is. All right, let's see. Yeah, okay. All right, so that's what we're looking at. The intent of this broadcast was just kind of bring you up to date on that and to let you know that we do have significant damage now there in southern Troup County from West Point, Georgia, all the way back over toward Pine Mountain. Seems to be the hardest hit area. All right, so we're looking at some pretty heavy storms continuing to move across the area as well. The good news is they're not severe at the moment, though very heavy rainfall continues in the same areas we've been seeing it for hours now. Lafayette, just north of Lafayette, heavy rainfall up around Frog Eye, back to Budston, and back down toward Dadeville, Alexander City. Heavy rainfall in the southern end of Randolph County, from Wadley to Roanoke, up toward Franklin, central Hatchie. Wedowee getting some heavy rain, and it just doesn't quit. I mean, we zoom out, you can see that it stretches pretty much all the way back to the Mississippi state line. This stuff coming through Selma would be of concern as it moves into central Alabama. The atmosphere there around Montgomery up toward Prattville is relatively untapped. We haven't seen a whole lot of rain in this area. We know that we have the sun shining in some locations. So this stuff coming through Selma, give you a heads up, Prattville, Montgomery, Wetumpka, Auburn, Opelika eventually. Be very mindful of these storms coming up from the southwest. They certainly could go severe. We have a tornado watch that's in effect until this afternoon. And then one big supercell thunderstorm blowing up down there in southwest Alabama, just north of Thomasville, also at this hour. All right, the first, according to Sam, the first photograph that we showed you just a few moments ago was the Ann Murphy Road area. Thank you, Linda. And I'm just going to see if we have any comments over here that I need to address. Power out in Roanoke. Yeah, that's what I wanted to look at. Let me see if I can switch over to the power outage map. There's Alabama. So currently we're showing a total of 8,581 customers out in Alabama. We're showing about 10% in Chambers County. Not really showing a large outage in Randolph at this hour, but that doesn't mean that we can't have some customers out. So that's the situation in Alabama. Looking at Georgia. Easy to see there that we have some power outages, obviously, in Troup County. Most of those would be down there in the southern half of the county. Then you can see the other counties where we may have had some damage earlier that's caused some power outages. We have a total of 11,242 outages in the state of Georgia currently. As we go back to our WSV3 Southern Union State Community Live Doppler HD radar, you see those rain showers continuing across central Alabama, really training over the same areas time and time again. We do have a flash flood warning now for Troup County for the area there around West Point where the cleanup continues this morning. Good news is we're being told that both of the tigers that were missing from the Wild Animal Safari Park at Pine Mountain have been located and are back, I guess for lack of better terms, back in custody at the Wild Animal Safari Park there in Pine Mountain. Yeah, this storm coming through Chambers is really taking on an ugly look. You folks there to the northeast of Lafayette in eastern Chambers County down to Casita. And this is going to move right over the area where we have the tornado cleanup and the rescue efforts underway. Heads up, you've got a strong thunderstorm to your west about to move over the area again. And I honestly have lost count how many times I have said that so far this morning. I don't see anything tornadic. I do see Some wind, 25 miles per hour, 20 maybe 30 mile per hour. This is in the upper levels of the atmosphere, not at the surface. But that heavy rainfall that's taking place right there could certainly transport some of that wind to the surface. So some pretty gusty winds coming into the Lynette, West Point area with this line of thunderstorms that's moving into the area. So up there on 29, we'll just zoom in and let me go back to the reflectivity. Your tornado damage, and let's get the telestrator going here. Your tornado damage is going to be in this area. And it's going to track over something like so. So you can see the leading edge of the heavy rain is back over here, and it's moving in your general direction. So if you're out here in this area, pay attention to the rain moving in. And let me, yeah, I'm going to have to take that off. And zoom out. There you can see what's coming your way. So this heavy rain is going to move right through the area where the tornado tracked earlier. So if you're out here, involved in search and rescue, heads up. There's not a tremendous amount of lightning right now. There is some a little bit north that will probably move right over Gabbettville and down toward Kia. So it would certainly be close enough. Unless you're involved in a life safety measure, I think the best idea here would be to seek shelter until this line of thunderstorms moves through that particular area. Just touching some of the areas here. All right, there's Ann Murphy Road. Fuller Road. This is the area where the tornado hit. And when I zoom back out, you can see what's coming from the west. So in this particular area here, you've got some heavy rain moving in. Yes, there is still a possibility of storms tonight. This is a long duration event, folks. This is going to last all day and most of tonight. It won't storm the entire time, but we're going to see storm after storm after storm. This has been going on since about 2 o'clock this morning, and it continues at this hour, and it's going to continue all day. And this is unusual. We typically don't see this. Normally, it storms for an hour or two, and then it's over with. Not so much today. This is going to be a long duration event that is going to take place for many, many hours. Apparently, the power outage in Roanoke is kind of scattered. I'm seeing reports of power out on Quail Run Drive, but yet other areas of Roanoke still has power. So apparently it's not a widespread outage. Beverly, the weather situation is about as good as it's going to get today between Auburn and Roanoke. Nothing severe there now, just some heavy rain, so you're safe to travel. Just be real careful. Broad rotation, Daniel, in some of these storms. Nothing to suggest a tornado at the moment. Anniston, Oxford area is in good shape right now. We're focusing on the tornado stricken area of Troup County there, just north of West Point, because we have a heavy line of showers moving into that area. Earlier this morning, after the tornado had cleared the area, we had a very strong line of storms move through, and officials in West Point made the decision to go ahead and activate the outdoor warning siren to get everybody indoors because of the danger of lightning. Don't know that they'll do that now. We don't see the lightning output we saw earlier, though there is lightning there. Only 6 strokes of lightning in the last 3 minutes. In that that area where the lightning is will probably move across a little bit north of where the tornado touched down and where the damage is, but it'll certainly be close enough to be struck by lightning. So if you are a first responder, if you're in this area where all the damage is this morning, respect this line of storms that's moving in, and you should seek shelter until this thing passes. I'll zoom out just a little bit, and I'm going to rock the frame back and forth so you can kind of see. Well, there we go. It's right on top of you now, that latest update. So the lightning is up there around Amity Park, but it's close enough. So if you're in the Fuller Road, Ann Murphy Road area, Highway 29, West Point Road, just north of West Point, in that damaged area, you should seek shelter. If you're between 85 and I-185 doing cleanup, this thing's coming at you. Also there around Pine Mountain, you've got one small cell that just slipped to the south of you, but there's more coming from the west there around Pine Mountain. Zoom all the way out. Again, don't forget that we have that flash flood warning for Troup County from LaGrange all the way back down to around Pine Mountain. That continues. Heavy rainfall up here in Pennon, stretching back up to near Wadley, back over toward Welch. Then in Randolph County, some heavy rain just north of Roanoke, back over toward Malone. Heavy rainfall on the eastern side of Heard County. Showers continue now around Millerville and southern Clay. That stretches back down to Goodwater, Stewartville, and back into western Coosa. A small shower, though heavy, there on the northwest side of Alexander City. That'll move across the northern reaches of Alexander City. And then when I zoom back out, folks, I mean, it continues forever. It goes all the way down through Autauga County, Chilton County, all the way back into West Alabama, and even into south central Mississippi. And it's just the same areas getting storm after storm after storm. The good news is the trend has been weakening over the last couple of hours, and we have not had a severe thunderstorm warning now for several hours. But the Weather Service is maintaining the tornado watch because they believe that we're just in a little bit of a lull right now, and that these storms will re-intensify as we get into the afternoon hours, especially in those areas where the sun is shining right now. These storms will refuel, and they will go severe later on this morning, or as we get into the early hours of the afternoon, and we could have a whole nother round of severe weather to deal with across East Alabama and West Georgia. National Weather Service Peachtree City now issuing a special weather statement for our West Point storm. Let's give you the verbiage on that. And I'll read it to you. A strong thunderstorm will impact portions of west central Meriwether and Troup County through 11:45 a.m. At 11:11 a.m. Eastern, a strong thunderstorm was over Southern Harbor or near Lynette, moving to the east at 50 miles per hour. Hazard includes cloud-to-ground lightning and very heavy rainfall. So there you go. We have that special weather statement there for Troup County. I'm going to, let's see, yeah, I'm going to take, let me take that. This is damage coming in. I don't know where this house is. It's coming from Alicia Nobley. I'm not sure. All it says is, "This is my house." I'm going to assume that it's in Troup County. And it's raw video. I'm seeing it for the first time myself. And this would have been from the tornado a little after 7 o'clock this morning over in Troup County. So I want to stay with you just a few more minutes till we get this line of storms through the tornado-ravaged area of Troup County. But then we're going to go back and take another break because we need to catch every moment as we can to rest, because we may have a very active afternoon across East Alabama and West Georgia if this trend continues. I'll put the radar back in motion so you can get a feel for the direction that these storms are moving. But once again, in case you've just joined us, reports continue to flood in of a widespread damage with homes completely destroyed, some injuries. We know that we had folks trapped earlier. This would be on West Point Road, just north of West Point, near Ann Murphy Road. Near the West Point Motel, Bethel Baptist Church area of West Point Road, there on Highway 29, just north of West Point. We know that I-85 and I-185 both were blocked at one time with trees down across the roadway. And we know that there's some damage all across southern Troup on over toward Pine Mountain as well. So I'm going back in to show you those roads that I have highlighted right there. And basically from Ann Murphy Road up to Fuller Road. This is the area where most of the damage took place from the tornado, as far as we can tell. I'm certain that it continues off to the east. But this looks like this is about where it started in Troup County there, just north of West Point. So that line of storms just moving through there. And now that line of thunderstorms is off to the east of I-85. So back over there around Fuller Road and Murphy Road, you're in the clear now for some time. Looking back to the west, there are a few small showers over in Chambers County, Alabama. in Tallapoosa County, Alabama, but nothing like what just went through there. So for the time being, you can get back out and continue with your search and rescue efforts and cleanup efforts that are underway there just north of West Point, Georgia. Let me caution all of you across East Alabama and West Georgia, unless you've been summoned to report to that location, don't go there. Do the first responders a favor and stay away from that area. Don't go just to see what it looks like. We've been showing you that here on Dr. Don's Weather, so you know what it looks like. Don't go there to see if you can help. The best idea is to stay away. Let the local officials go in and at least complete the search and rescue portion of this so that they'll have time to go in and clear all of these structures and make sure that they've rescued everybody that was caught in this storm. If you go into this area, I'm sure 29 or West Point Road is closed on both ends, but if you go around the barricades or you get into this area, all you're doing is hampering the rescue efforts that are underway. So the best idea is to stay away from this area of Troup County, at least for the time being. I want to show you that the north end of this heavy storm is moving into LaGrange now. So we're looking at very heavy rainfall in downtown LaGrange. Good news is I don't see any real indications of any hail within this storm. There probably is a little wind here. We're looking, let me go to the base velocity. We're looking at 35 mile per hour winds. There's some 40s down there. Again, this is the upper levels of the atmosphere, so it's not going to be quite that strong at the surface. Let me switch to Peachtree City. Yeah. Let me reload. All right, now we can go back in. And let's take a look at the wind. 30 mile per hour wind gust, maybe. Yeah, there's a 30 right there. Good news is there's no rotation. And the 25 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts are up in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So I'm going to say 25 to 30 mile per hour wind gust with this front is certainly plausible as it moves into LaGrange. But again, I see no evidence of hail. I mean, there could be some small hail, but I see no indications of severe hail. I see no indications of rotation with this storm that's moving into LaGrange at this time. Same thing up here in Randolph County. Very heavy rainfall here from Roanoke all the way down to around 5 points. Heavy rain up here just south of Wedowee, back over toward Clay County, just south of 48 there on the southern end of Lake Wedowee, stretching all the way back into southern Clay and then up into northwestern Coosa, south of Weguffka, and down to around Clanton over in Chilton County. Heavy rainfall there as well. So that's where we stand. We're going to take a break now, and we will come back and continue with our live coverage as soon as conditions warrant. Currently, we do have a tornado watch that is in effect until 1 o'clock this afternoon for portions of Central Alabama, East Alabama, and West Georgia. We have had a tornado touchdown this morning in Troup County, Georgia, from West Point, Georgia, back toward Pine Mountain. We understand there is significant damage there with homes completely destroyed, collapsed homes. We understand there are some injuries. And we're going to continue to monitor that for you, and we will continue to watch the weather, and we'll be right back with you and continue with our coverage as conditions warrant. I caution you, this is going to be a long-duration event that has the potential, at least, of continuing for the remainder of today, tonight, and into tomorrow, even tomorrow morning. So we may be spending a lot of time together. We already have. Been going now for about 6.5 hours this morning altogether. So it's already been a long duration event, but it may get even longer before this day is done. If you have the means and you find it in your heart to help support us here on Dr. Don's Weather, we appreciate you doing so. Those links to support us are scrolling there in the chat room. And we would really appreciate anything you can do to help us. This is an expensive venture, but we've been doing it now for a little over 4 years. We want to continue to do it as long as you guys want it, and as long as you support us, we will continue to do this. And I'm going to warn you, if you post things in the chat room that's ridiculous, you're going to get blocked. And you're also going to get removed from the chat. Making statements that the world's coming to an end qualifies as ridiculous. So there you go. You're out. So Amber says we were hit hard in West Point, Georgia. We're very much aware of that now. That Bethel Church on Highway 29 was destroyed. Heavy rain. Mike is reporting heavy rain in LaGrange. Jeremy, those tigers have been captured and returned back to the zoo. They have both been located. There were actually 2 of them, but they've been located, or at least that's what the major media outlets are reporting. Again, if you're a spammer, or if you post ridiculous comments on this page, you will be gone. So we'll take you out there. All right, so we're going to step aside and get a little rejuvenation going on here. And as soon as conditions warrant, we see any more threatening weather, we'll be right back with you. And we'll continue with our coverage here on Dr. Don's Weather on your Sunday morning. So remain weather aware and stay with us. We'll continue to cover this for you from Dr. Don's Weather.